In this video, we're going to talk about Amazon's new account health rating and account health assurance, what they are, how to qualify for them, and why sellers and brands should be really excited about this change. Amazon has finally pulled back the curtain and are giving more transparency into how they evaluate and potentially punish brands' accounts for their seller account health. Very exciting news. So there are two main things that go into this. One is called the account health rating, or AHR. And this is a numerical rating on a scale from 0 to 1,000. And points are awarded, positive points on the scale, for consistently fulfilling orders correctly without any issues, right? And then points are deducted when there are issues. And you have an opportunity to rectify those issues and maybe get those points back. But that's essentially how it works. It's an account rating scale, 1 to 1,000. Along with that, there's something called account health assurance. This is available for sellers who have a high rating, a high account health rating, and allows them to work with Amazon directly to address those issues before any dire action like account suspension is taken. So this has been a long time coming, and there's a lot of details here. So let's kind of break it down so we can really understand what this means for brands and sellers on Amazon and how can they use this to positively affect their business. So first, we have account health rating, or AHR. Again, it's a color-coded scale, 1 to 1,000. If you're a brand new seller, you've never sold anything before on Amazon, Amazon's giving you a little bit of credit here. They're starting you automatically out at 200. So don't have to worry about a new seller starting from 0. You start at 200. It is a rolling 180-day or 6-month time period, right? So if you had an issue 7 months ago, that's going to fall off, right? But if you've got a bunch of issues this month, it's going to take 6 months for those to fall out. So keep those in mind, that you want to keep that 6-month time frame in mind when you're that AHR scale. The colors on the scale are green, yellow, and red. Green is anywhere from 200 to 1,000, yellow 100 to 189, and red is 99 or below. Anything there, right? All right, so how do you increase this number? How do you get a higher number on the account health rating scale into green and above, right? So Amazon's actually awarding you 4 points for every 200 successful orders completed over the previous 6 months, right? So they're giving you points as long as there's no issues with these orders. And what do they mean by issues, right? Successful orders. So some of this is very obvious, and some of these are things that aren't so obvious. So one called the order defect rate. Today, Amazon has a separate dashboard for an account health, cancellation rate, late shipment rate, valid tracking, on-time delivery, even contacting customers. Amazon put in there as an attribute for this. Now, breaking it down, a few of these are automatically solved by using FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon, where Amazon's sending out each of your orders for you. If you're doing FBM, or seller fulfilled ordering, where you're sending out each order from your own warehouse or 3PL, a lot of these numbers are drastically going to affect you, namely cancellation rate, late shipment rate, valid tracking rate, and on-time delivery. Those don't apply with FBA. So if you're using FBA, you have a much greater chance of having a much more positive account health score because Amazon's not factoring into those for your orders, right? You're just automatically getting a pass or a check on those orders. So another big advocate for FBA there, because Amazon's taking control of that, right? If you violate any of Amazon's policies, they're going to take away, right, a certain numerical value, and it's dependent on the type of violation and the number of violations. We'll talk about that here in a second. But they're actually going to take away or decrease your account health rating for those violations. So some of these violations may be pretty obvious, things like counterfeit, IP, right? Things like that. But then Amazon actually lists all their policies. It's more so the fact that could be any policy violation. So things like customer communication guidelines, review guidelines, like getting customer reviews, product detail page rules. If you violate any of those, technically Amazon could decrease your account health score. So it's much more involved now. It's much more involved taking into your entire seller account, not just things like IP infringement, right? And if you repeat the same violation multiple times, Amazon's going to increase the value for that violation. So for instance, I'm just using this as an example. Amazon doesn't give the exact numerical values for each violation, but let's say they're going to deduct you 10 points the first time for a counterfeit claim. The second time might be 20 or 25, right? So things like that can drastically affect your account health rating if you have multiple instances of the same type of violation. So that's how points get taken away on your account health rating. So how can a good account health rating on your Amazon Seller Central account limit your exposure from randomly getting suspended by Amazon when you violate a policy? Well, Amazon has also announced something called Account Health Assurance, or AHA. Account Health Assurance is Amazon essentially rewarding sellers who have a good account health rating with the ability to fix issues before they just suspend the account entirely, right? Amazon historically has always been a shoot first, ask questions later type of company. Like, hey, you violated these things over the past 6 months or a year. We're going to shut down your entire seller account and now prove to us, that you resolve these issues. They're never going to happen again. What's your plan of action, right? That's how they've traditionally done things. This is a much more proactive approach where they're letting sellers essentially fix these issues before they do anything like that, right? So how do you get this account health assurance? So first of all, it's only available to sellers right now in the US and Canada, and you have to have a account health rating of at least 250. And for the previous 6 months, you can't have any more than 10 days of being under 250. So maybe you might have went under for a couple days. That's okay. Can't have more than 10 days, right? The last attribute, or the last thing you need to have this, is have that emergency contact number on file. You'll see that sometimes you log into Seller Central. We see it sometimes in our clients' accounts. They don't have an emergency contact number on file. Amazon kind of puts that in bold, right? If you don't have that, you're not going to be able to get enrolled in this program. So make sure you have that, right? You will be notified if there's an issue. Let's say Amazon, finds a violation. What they're going to do is they're going to notify you, via email. They're going to let you know. You're probably going to see on your dashboard as well when you have account health assurance, right? And so what they're going to allow you to do is they're going to allow you to fix those issues, work with an account health team or specialist or representative to do that, right? And so how do you keep this account health assurance, right? How do you keep making sure you have it, right? So we talked about got to keep that account health rating, AHR, above 250, right? And to keep it, you have to have it can't be 10 consecutive days under 250, right? You have to engage the account health team within 72 hours of notification of an issue, right? So essentially 5 days, you have to make sure you respond to them if there is an issue, right? And that's just a good best practice in a way. You typically want to respond to Amazon as quickly as possible for any account health issues. And you also have to fully resolve these issues in working with the account health team. So if Amazon flags you for a customer communications policy violation, right? They're going to want to make sure that it's fully taken care of and resolved before they essentially remove that violation from your account and, have it no longer be a detriment to your account health rating. Really important to understand, again, what account health assurance gets you and how your account health rating plays into that. So this is a big, long overdue change that Amazon probably should have instituted years ago, right? But it's great now that sellers and brands on Amazon can essentially have an idea of how they stand in terms of account health with Amazon, because Amazon's such a large part of brands' businesses these days that if their whole Amazon accounts get shut down because of 1 or 2 policy violations from 4 months ago and a third one just came in and they don't know about that, it can be a big detriment to the business. But this essentially allows you to keep selling on Amazon, rectify those problems with Amazon, and gives you transparency to the whole process. So a big win for sellers and brands everywhere.